Coming up on Nittany Game Week.
This group's so tight. I mean, just the amount of love, it never fades regardless win or lose.
The men's lacrosse team drops a heartbreaker to Princeton in the NCAA quarterfinals and falls short of their national championship goals. How the coaching staff and players handle the abrupt end to another successful season.
Back to freshman year almost, the point I guess at this point isn't to have fun, it's to get my job done and show that I'm valuable to this team and to this organization.
The work begins for a handful of former Nittany Lions as they pursue their NFL dream with the Baltimore Ravens, what they focus on to increase their chances of making the opening day roster.
Compete on the ice and your best friends off the ice. So every day I was there the past 2 years, I loved every second of it.
And it's a quick career in Hockey Valley for Charlie Serrato before he signs with the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes. Why he's confident Penn State's program will continue to reach new heights and the things he appreciates the most while wearing the blue and white. This is Nittany Game Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nittany Game Week. I'm Todd Sadowski alongside Ryan Yee. Here we are, episode number 40, the season finale for the 2025-26 Penn State sports year.
Yeah, can you believe it? So many memorable moments for PSU. Of course, the wrestling team dominates on its way to another national championship. There are plenty of other teams and individuals that also excel during the fall, winter, and spring.
Plenty of big changes for the upcoming year, most notably Matt Campbell as the new head football coach. We have a few months before we see the blue and white back on the field, and we start our final opening drive of this season with the men's lacrosse team and their quest for back-to-back Final Fours. Summer arrives a little early at the University of Delaware for PSU's NCAA quarterfinal with Princeton. Nittany Lions fans arrive in Newark as well to cheer on their guys. Easy to support an effort like this one from midi John Jude Considine. Muscles his way through the defense and bounces it home for a 4-3 advantage. Incredible goal that fires up his teammates and impresses the sideline. They score from close up, they put it in the net from distance. Chase Robertson, with his second goal of the game, brings Penn State within 1. They would head to halftime, all knotted up at 6. After the break, the effort still evident. Kyle Lehman dives and knocks it loose for the turnover. On defense, top defender Alex Ross clogs the passing lane and works with goalie Preston Hawkins to work it upfield for the Lions. The heat is also a constant, which causes Ross and other guys to cramp. Temperature reading for the turf on the field hits 112 degrees at one point. Unfortunately, it's PSU that wilts down the stretch. A 9-9 contest after 3 turns into a 14-10 elimination. A bitter defeat abruptly ends the Nittany Lions season, a few wins shy of a national title.
I've been doing it for 26 years as head coach, and I've never been on the other side where I've walked off that field, the last team winning, and that's hard. That is hard because you put so much time and effort, and then you're exhausted from the week of preparation and exhausted from the game, and then it ends.
It never feels good when the season ends, but for it to end here, what was the room like and the disappointment of kind of ending it here, guys?
It hurt a lot to see my teammates and my brothers cry, especially our seniors and our captains. They helped lead us, and all the way down to our freshmen. I'm so thankful to have every single one of them, and it hurts to have our season go out this way. But I'm so thankful to have them as my brothers and, soon to be our best friends. I'm just so thankful to have them in my life to this day and in the future.
Despite the loss, there's just so much love in the locker room. You got 48 guys, coaches included, that are just going up to each other, hugging each other, can tell each other anything. This group's so tight, and everyone's just there for everyone. So, just the amount of love, it never fades regardless win or lose.
Over to football. Now, it may be the downtime for the Penn State squad, but for some Nittany Lions, their NFL journeys are in full swing. That includes a handful of players that now find themselves in Baltimore, making a name for themselves at OTAs in the purple and black. from State College to Baltimore.
It's been a true honor. I mean, Ravens always had a great defense growing up. So, I mean, just being able to continue and live up to that honor that they left before us, and just being able to do my part and be able to do my job at a high level and make an impact wherever I can.
OTAs begin in the NFL. Nittany Lions turned Ravens. First-round pick Venga Ioane and undrafted free agents Dom DeLuca and Nick Dawkins take the field.
Oh, it's been awesome, man. 6 years in college, you kind of think you know how everything is supposed to go and all that, but obviously there's levels of this stuff. And, just my football knowledge and IQ is already just gradually elevated, being around great players, Ronnie Stanley, obviously, and just, guys that you grow up watching and getting to see how their process, how they operate, finding a new routine here. It's all been amazing in that class organization like the Ravens. I'm just blessed to be here.
Continuing their transition from the college ranks to the pros.
I'd definitely say the size and the speed of everyone. I mean, just everyone moving at a faster speed. Everyone's here for a reason, and it's understandable. Like, you got to have your best when the best is required, and that's every day here in every rep.
Tapping into everything they learned in the blue and white.
It's nothing unfamiliar that I'm not familiar with. Like, I've been through the same road before in college, and just be able to put my head down and work and ask those questions like I did, but just at a different level now and understanding it the way they see it, the coaches see it, the players see it. So just be able to do my job and make an impact wherever I can, special teams, defense, doing whatever, being a water guy, I don't care. Like, I'll do whatever I need to do to be able to learn and become a great player.
Both past and present.
My locker's right next to Imani, and I watched him at Penn State, but I didn't, meet him or anything like that. And like, hey, you played at Penn State? Yeah. And then that connection just transcends because he's been in the league for a long time. So now I'm asking him, like, how do you stay in the league? Like, what do I got to do? What are little things that I can take from you to make sure I stay in the league for a long time? And it's been awesome because, Penn Staters help Penn Staters.
In hopes of leaving a lasting impression on the coaching staff in the purple and black.
Venga's a beast, and man, he's got a really bright future, but the best thing about him is just how hard he works and how serious he takes his craft. And so every day he does something, he comes back, it's a little bit better the next time. And so he's, again, the epitome of the draft class, in that sense, and the type of guy you want on the offensive defensive line.
Taking it one day at a time.
Really settle in and be able to understand, like, all right, I'm here for a reason, and they're helping me achieve that reason. And just being able to go about my day-to-day life and acting like a pro, like we always preached about at Penn State and here. So just being able to keep that up and work at a high level.
And best of luck to those guys trying to stick with the Ravens.
Yeah, plenty of power among that group, Ryan. And there's a guy on PSU's baseball team that puts on an impressive display of strength this season. This home run for Michael Anderson in the final series of the year at Maryland is number 20 on the season. That's a new Penn State record for a single campaign. Anderson earns all Big Ten first-team honors for his record-breaking year at the plate. In 2026, he hit .358 with 68 hits, 11 doubles, the 20 homers, 53 runs batted in, and scored 43 runs. Pretty good, you say? Well, he led the Nittany Lions in average hits, runs, RBIs, home runs, total bases, hit by pitches with 18, slugging percentage, and on-base percentage. And the home runs and the hit by pitches, they're both program records. Here's the best stat, though. He's one of only 2 players in the country to average 414 feet or farther for their homers. We stay with the Diamonds, switch to softball. She produces one of the greatest offensive seasons in program history. Freshman Allison Oneacre becomes the first student athlete at Penn State to be named both a unanimous first-team All-Big Ten Conference selection and unanimous Big Ten All-Freshman Team designee in the same season. Oneacre garners multiple individual player rankings at both the third base and shortstop positions over the season, peaking at the number 1 spot in the nation at third base at the end of February. She finishes tied for the team lead in batting average in 2026 with a .367 mark and sets the program's new mark with RBIs, 61. Also PSU's freshman record holder in home runs with 18. She ends up 2 shy of matching the single season record. That was Cassidy Bell, slugged 20 in 2013. Up next, the operative word for men's soccer is new. New head coach with a brand new facility to help teach and train his players. We meet the new guy in charge and get a tour of the complex. More Nittany Game Week is on the way.
Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
Welcome back to our season finale. Not sure whether to describe it as a renovation project or new construction. Either way, Nittany Game Week's Lauren Bradford shows us how the men's soccer program is on a brand new trajectory.
Let's head this way.
A lot of changes this offseason for Penn State men's soccer. Between a new leading man.
After 14 years in Vermont, I was looking for a new challenge and a new opportunity to win championships in the Big Ten and sustain national championships, consistently. And Penn State's the place we can do this.
And new facilities.
This is a one-stop shop, for all of our soccer players, the men and the women. We can get, the treatment they need from a medical standpoint. We can develop their athleticism. We can do film and teach them the game, and the training spaces, with the competition site. That this is different, and it's at the highest standards and the highest levels.
On December 11th, Penn State announces Rob Dow as the next head coach of the Nittany Lions.
We'll expect more. We'll raise the higher bar. And bring in some players that can meet those demands. So many players around the country want to be tested at the highest level. Not only me, it was what attracted me to Penn State, but players excited for the new challenge.
And this spring, Penn State unveils their new Soccer Performance Center.
The Soccer Performance Building is the best soccer facility in the country, and how we can meet every needs of our student athletes all in one shot.
While the Penn State soccer complex was undergoing its renovations, the coaches were doing some roster construction of their own, adding pieces to turn Penn State men's soccer back into a national contender.
Recruiting's really, really important here in the offseason, and our staff, Brad, Oscar, and OJ has done an amazing job of bringing people here and seeing this facility. And I think our first 10 visits, we went 10 for 10 on commitments, and that just shows that people around this state and around the country also believe they can develop here.
And while the portal has been crucial in crafting a roster, they're not just looking for talent, they're looking for character.
We're a value-based program that lands on hard work, discipline, gratitude, and a family environment. We want to control all of those little things that eventually make the big things that you raise above your head.
Coach Dow knows what that takes, coaching his former team to a national championship just 2 years ago.
It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to own that, and we're going to step back up and get back on the line and get back on the field every time it doesn't go right. And I think we can build a really resilient group that I think our fans are going to identify with.
A lot of changes that'll hopefully change the Nittany Lions' luck as they hope to bounce back from back-to-back sub-500 seasons to a team competing for championships. Lauren Bradford for Nittany Game Week.
The men's hockey team made lots of headlines this past season with a roster full of NHL prospects. Guys like Aiden Fink proved just how deep the Nittany Lions were all over the ice. Fink makes a seamless transition from the Big Ten to the professional ranks. He was a Hobey Baker Award finalist in the 2025 season. He steps right into the Nashville Predators organization and makes an impact. Fink signed a 3-year entry-level deal with Nashville and described how his time at PSU prepared him for the next level.
I still remember the first day getting to Hockey Valley. I was a freshman, summer school, just meeting my class and that stuff. And it's crazy to think that I've gone by for 3 years now. It went super fast, and I didn't think it was going to go that fast, but it did. Some of the things I can take away from Hockey Valley is that friendships I made, the brotherhood, my class going in with Reese Lawback, Dane Doriak, Casey Amon, Matthew DeMarsco, all those guys. We're going to be brothers for life. So I always think back, look at that. And then just that coaching staff, they made me a better person on and off the ice. I love that place, and I've came away with a lot of experience, and they've helped me to be a better person.
Fink's deal with Nashville guarantees him almost $3 million over the next 3 years. Up next, we stay on side and stick with Penn State hockey. One of Aiden's teammates, Charlie Serrato, is in a similar situation after signing with the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes. What Charlie appreciated the most about wearing the blue and white. He's our Impact interview coming up. Nittany Game Week returns after this.
Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small-town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
We're back on Nittany Game Week, time for our Impact interview, and it feels really strange to say former Nittany Lion already for Charlie Serrato, but that's the case. Second-round draft pick for the Carolina Hurricanes joins us now. Charlie, thanks for the time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're going to do this past, present, future style. And as I mentioned, it's former Nittany Lion already. So the first thing I want to ask you is, can you believe just how quickly the time went? And when you think back about wearing the blue and white, what are some of the things that are top of mind for you?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you don't realize it when you step on campus how quick time will actually go. Obviously, my time was a little bit shorter than, the 4 years that you should be there, but there were so many good memories. I'm so grateful for my 2 years I had there. Like the amount of people, the new people I met, the friends I'll have for life. I know I'll go back there forever. I was just at the alumni golf tournament, so it's crazy. I don't know, like if you're an alumni unless you graduate or once you leave. I don't know how that works, but it's crazy being like a half alumni as I'm like still working on my degree.
Well, made quite an impact while you were there. And you've been in a lot of different hockey environments, even as a young guy. Can you describe Pegula Arena and just Hockey Valley in general, how unique that is to the hockey community?
Yeah, obviously it's a newer building. I mean, new-ish. It's like, 15, 16 years old now. And obviously the program I think is absolutely taking off now. It's like, I think Hockey Valley is one of the best, if not the best place to play college hockey. Like the fans, the student section, it's so electric and it's such a passionate, fan base, alumni base. Like, once a Penn Stater, always a Penn Stater. People, the locals who live in State College, it really is incredible. And, to get the full experience, to be at a game's unbelievable. Like playing a game, there is quite literally nothing better than being at Pegula on a Friday or Saturday night.
We move to the present, and you go ahead and you sign your contract with the Carolina Hurricanes, a 3-year entry-level deal, and then you join the Chicago Wolves of the American Hockey League. So that transition from college to pro, what were some of the things that jumped out to you making that transition as you go from playing with your college teammates and against college guys all of a sudden to professionals?
I mean, I feel like the obvious one is like on the ice, guys are, bigger, they're older, so they got that grown man strength a little bit. But that's probably the most obvious one. The one that you would, least expect is you go from college where you're, State College is like it's a massive, massive student body in a small area. You see people your age every day. You're with your 25 best friends every single day of every minute. And then you go to pro hockey and half your team is, they're older, they have wives and kids. And it's, once you're done at the rink, you're not going over to the house or going and grabbing food. It's like, I got to go take care of my family. So I feel like that it's a little getting used to for sure. But that's pro hockey. That's what it is. So I definitely got my schedule down a little bit. I had, stuff I like to do off the ice that kept me busy while we weren't at the rink. So it was, I definitely learned a lot in my month I was there.
The future of Penn State's hockey program. What is it about Coach Godowski that can, attract that top-level talent? Also, Charlie, as you guys are just prime examples of where you can go from State College into the professional ranks.
It's easy when you can bring a kid out to a game or, out for a week or whatever it is, and they experience what it's like to be, a hockey player at Penn State, and they just get wild. Like the fans, the arena, the facilities are second to none, and Gads is, like we were taught, like he is Penn State hockey. He's been there since the beginning, since the transition to Division I. And I couldn't imagine this place without him. So I think just the tradition that he brings is one of the, easiest ways to get top talent to school there.
Very cool to catch up with Charlie Serrato as he tries to achieve his NHL dreams. Of course, you can see all of our Impact interviews. You know where to go. It's NittanyGameWeek.com. No pride picks in our season finale. We call an audible and go one better than that as we make our way through the fans tailgating at the University of Delaware. Follow us on our trip to the PSU Lax Shack when we come back. We're heading into the final minutes on Nittany Game Week.
Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State Football.
Back on Nittany Game Week, some coaching changes to talk about for programs that have had a long run of consistent leadership. In men's volleyball, after the retirement of longtime head coach Mark Pavlik, after 32 seasons, Colin McMillan will be taking over, who has been on the staff for nearly 2 decades and spent the last 10 as associate head coach. And in men's gymnastics, Randy Jepson will not be returning as head coach after an incredible 35 years at the helm and 45 total with the program. Associate head coach Tony Beck will be taking over effective immediately. Beck will aim to continue right where Jepson left off, a span that includes 3 national championships and nearly 450 victories. Time to shout out some Penn State standout athletes in this week's Dean's List. We start off with women's lacrosse, who many would consider a successful first year under head coach Kayla Trainer. These two a big part of that. Junior attacker Delaney Radin named as Intercollegiate Women's Lacrosse Coaches Association West Midwest All-Region First Team after a year that included a whopping 57 assists. Defender Maggie Driver also makes the list on the second team with 30 turnovers caused this past season. Over to softball, 4 athletes land on the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All Northeast Region. Brooke Clausewitz, first team distinction. We talked about her earlier. Allison One-Anchor and Brianna Hannock on the second team. And lastly, Natalie Lido on the third team. And we talked about him earlier as well. PSU Baseball's Michael Anderson earns all Big Ten first team honors with a season that included a record 20 home runs. Congrats to this week's Dean's List honorees.
And don't forget about our Nittany Connect network at NittanyGameWeek.com. We partner with businesses that support the show and let our viewers know about their great products and professional services. Look for this network to continue to grow. We may be signing off for a few months from the weekly television show, but you can consume our content 24/7, 365 online. It all can be found at one convenient location, NittanyGameWeek.com.
And normally we finish the show with Pride Picks. We have a little something different for our season finale as we take you through the lacrosse tailgate at the University of Delaware.
And big thanks to a guy who does so much work behind the scenes for the program. That would be Ed Albert. Appreciate all of your hard work all season long. So for Ryan, Lauren, and Ed, thanks so much for watching Nittany Game Week. We'll see you next time.